Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is 4 Paws in a Book. I make book and lifestyle related content, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Today we are going to be talking about some recommendations for some comfort reads. Today I have some books that are a hug in a book. They are the books that you pick up when you are having a bad day, when you need some laughter, some joy in your life, something to bring you some serotonin. So I have a couple of them and hopefully this video will bring you some joy. I know as someone who struggles with lots of different mental health issues, having these books that are so comforting, so warm and inviting, really can just make my day. So I wanted to share those with you today. So the first one I don't actually have a physical copy of, but they are on Kindle Unlimited if you have them, and most libraries have them on Hoopla if your library supports that, and that is The Tea Dragon Society. This is an absolutely adorable graphic novel about these tea dragons, where they're like dragons that literally like grow tea leaves out of their head. And it's a 3-book series or 3 graphic novel series, and it is just so heartwarming. It's this beautiful story of like their dragons and their humans and like just working together and like healing and trusting each other. There is one where they're going through a loss and there's grief, but at the same time it's just so comforting and it's just adorable. Moving on to another middle grade novel that has dragons, we have The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. This is about a town who every year they sacrifice a baby to this witch, hoping that the witch will like leave them alone, essentially. Now the witch is very confused about this because she doesn't understand like why they're doing this, and so she always takes the babies and nurtures them. She gives the babies starlight on their journey as she goes to another town to give the baby a new home. Again, very confused witch. Now this happens one year and the witch kind of messes up, kind of gives the baby moonlight instead of starlight, and the baby ends up with magical powers. So the witch actually takes Luna under her wing and teaches her magic and things like that. And there is this tiny little adorable dragon in this book, and he's just the greatest character ever. This is just such an adorable book, and I highly recommend it. Okay, now I have some young adult books. These are not going to be any surprise to anyone. They're very popular comfort read books. So we have Heartstopper. There are 4 volumes in this. It is a young adult graphic novel that the art style is just really, really cute. Very kind of minimalist, but just adorable. And this is about Nick and Charlie and their journeys together, like, you know, trying to figure out who they are. One of the boys is out to pretty much everyone. Like, everyone knows in the school that he is gay, but then he joins the rugby team and meets Nick. And then Nick is like starting to have feelings. He doesn't understand, so he's kind of like learning that he is bisexual. And then as we go along in the story, there is a lot of talk about mental health. There's a lot of talk about eating disorders. So like, especially as you get into the last volume, that one is a little bit harder to read, but like especially the first ones, and I think volume 3 that takes place in the summer, and like they go to Paris in the summer. Those ones are so just warm and fuzzy, and I mean, but all of them are. They're very heartwarming. And this is about to be a Netflix movie, so. Okay, and then we have You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. First off, this cover just screams serotonin and comfort and happiness. This is about a girl who doesn't want anything to do with prom. Like, she's very anti-prom, but she needs a scholarship to get into college. And at her school, they're very big at prom, and the prom king and queen get a scholarship to whatever college they want to go to. And she knows that she needs this, so she signs up to be in the prom queen competition. And this book does a lot when talking about gender norms and the gender binary when it comes to like prom king and prom queen. And then on top of that, she starts falling for another prom queen candidate, which is just great. We love that. Especially in the small Indiana town that she lives in. This is a very happy book. Okay, when I'm struggling mentally, I generally gravitate towards romances, especially those rom-com type romances that I know are gonna have a lot of humor, a lot of laughter, and like maybe some positive family dynamics, or just some like a great representation. I don't know, like there's a big list, but I have a few books that I want to talk about. So first we have Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This book is about Alex and Henry, and Alex is the son of the President of the United States, and Henry is the Prince of Wales, I believe. And this starts out as a opposites attract kind of thing. They don't really like each other at first. They kind of both think that the other one is stuck up. And then because of like publicity, they have to be shown like in public as friends, and then they start falling for each other, which like obviously is a political nightmare, because you know the United States is great at LGBT representation. This has a ton of humor in it. The side characters are really, really great. And Casey is great at just like weaving the humor into the dialogue, and the characters just feel very natural. Okay, and then we have one of my more recent reads, and that is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. This is about a girl who goes back to her hometown to photograph her stepsister's wedding. And so there's a lot of like very interesting family dynamics in here. It is a sapphic romance, and this book is so funny. The amount of times that I laughed out loud reading this. I tabbed this book, and all of the light green ones, which I don't know that you can see, but like all of like those are all the funny moments. Those are the moments I laughed. And this book was just so heartwarming, and I couldn't put this book down, and I definitely like came out of a mini slump. I wasn't really in a slump, but I definitely came out of a little mini slump after reading this book. Lastly, it would not be a recommendations video, especially a comfort read recommendation video, without some Talia Hibbert on here. And so I have The Brown Sisters. These books, I don't have a paper, like, my Chloe Brown one is up there. These are my, like, double copies. It's fine. These books are so heartwarming. The love interests are such cinnamon rolls, which is something that like I absolutely love reading. But beyond the romance and the love interests, the sister dynamic between Chloe, Danny, and Eve is just so chef's kiss. It's so beautiful. You can really tell the older, middle, and younger sister dynamic, and I will forever love these books. It is about time for a reread. Maybe I should do that soon. There's also a ton of body positivity representation in different forms. All of the sisters are plus size. Chloe deals with chronic illness. Danny and Zaf both have some anxiety and depression, so some mental health illnesses. Both Eve and Jacob are autistic, so a more mental health neurodivergence representation. I don't think I've ever read a Talia Hibbert book where there wasn't representation somewhere in the book. And so for that, like, Talia will always be one of my favorite authors. She's an autobi. I'll read whatever she writes. So those are some books that I have always found warm and comforting, and hopefully will make you smile if you pick them up. Let me know it down in the comments below if there is a book that you gravitate towards when you are feeling down and need a hug in a book. That is all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button that you can do so down below the video, and all of the other links to my social media will be in the description below if you'd like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.